plan in mind, a special thing in store. The light bulb inside my head says, get out and play. 'Cause you never feel this way. It's my lucky day. It's my lucky day. It's my lucky day. My lucky day. It's my lucky day. Don't need a pot of gold, a rabbit's foot or to be told. It's my lucky day. It's my lucky day. Slept in 'cause I don't care and didn't make the bed. Sip coffee on my couch. What can I do instead? No work, it's only fun 'cause it's all okay. 'Cause you never feel this way. It's my lucky day. It's my lucky day. It's my lucky day. My lucky day. Don't need a pot of gold, a rabbit's foot or to be told. It's my lucky day. 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 Don't need a pot of gold, a rabbit's foot or to be told. It's my lucky day. It's my lucky day. It's my lucky day. It's my lucky day. Don't need a pot of gold, a rabbit's foot or to be told. It's my lucky day. It's my lucky day. Today is gonna be a little something more. I've got a plan in mind, a special thing in store. The light bulb inside my head says, get out and play. 'Cause you never feel this way. It's my lucky day. It's my lucky day. It's my lucky day. My lucky day. It's my lucky day. Don't need a pot of gold, a rabbit's foot or to be told. It's my lucky day. It's my lucky day. Slept in 'cause I don't care and didn't make the bed. Sip coffee on my couch. What can I do instead? No work, it's only fun 'cause it's all okay. 'Cause you never feel this way. It's my lucky day. It's my lucky day. It's my lucky day. My lucky day. Don't need a pot of gold, a rabbit's foot or to be told. It's my lucky.
Hey, good morning. Happy Thursday, February 18th. Thanks so much for joining us here on our third live stream coming from the world headquarters of Unleash WD here in Barrington, Illinois. I'm Dirk Beveridge, founder of Unleash WD. Thank you so much for joining us today. And we are going to be talking about the state of, well, about everything, COVID and what it's doing to our businesses and ourselves personally, and this great new partnership that we have with the National Association of Electrical Distributors and TED Magazine. And in fact, let me just jump into it by bringing in my guest for today, my good friend, Mr. Scott Costa, who is the publisher of NAED. And Scott, thank you for joining us, man. Great to see you, my friend.
Great seeing you. I appreciate the invite. I'm excited to, again, hang out and talk to you. We always kind of have great conversations. We just don't hit the record button. So this is going to be fun.
Yeah, no doubt about it. No doubt. And I do have it hit record it this time for sure, Scott. Hey, let me start by asking. We were in the green room, and I'm just going to
Mhm.
ask a question. I asked in the green. How's Scott Costa? How are you doing, buddy?
I'm good. Overall great.
Yeah. Yep.
Just so we're clear, and we talked. Yeah, everybody has those days. Today's my day where the term that I gave you is the sports term. Today I'm feeling a little sped up, which I'm
Yep.
sure a lot of people have felt that way. Which is again you watch the Super Bowl and Tom Brady is they're running plays faster. Your guy gets tackled, they're rushing the line of scrimmage, they're running another play because they want the other team to make a mistake, have a guy out of position, make a wrong cut or move or something. And I feel sped up today, like because I have a lot of things that I want to do, and I don't want to make a mistake myself. I don't want to overlook something. So I'm sure a lot of people feel that way. Have felt that way over the past year and a half with doing new responsibilities and doing new things. I'm trying to not be sped up. I'm trying to, again, take each task and make sure that it's done the right way. So it's an interesting day for me, but
Yeah.
I'm happy to be here, and it's great to get a chance to talk.
No, appreciate it. And I appreciate that insight, that analogy of sped up. And I don't think you're the only one. And I don't think, as you
No.
said, today is the only day for it, right?
Yeah, right, exactly.
Because, we all are. I was on the phone early this week talking to a group of companies about what we're going to be talking about this
Hmm.
one power together. And one of the questions that always comes up is time, right? And
Hmm.
everybody's saying, well, 30 minutes on the company's time and all that. Do we have the time for that? And the CEO to brought it back and said, guys, we're about ready to enter the second year of COVID. And
Right.
and if we can't find a way where our employees can take 30 minutes to focus on themselves, to slow down, because everything's speeding
Hmm.
up, right? Then maybe we need to take a look at the things that we're doing and all that. So I think it's so true, Scott, that feeling of sped up and pressure, everything's coming at us.
Yeah, yeah, and invest a little time and get a big result
Yeah.
is what it's really about. Spend a little, make a lot, and I think that if you invest 30 minutes a day, you know, just on focus,
Yeah.
I think you're going to have a great. If you're having an 8-hour day, you're going to have a great 7.5 hours.
Yeah. I love it. I
I'd
love
rather
it.
have that. Yeah.
Scott, thanks. Yeah. I love it. No doubt about it. Thanks. And
Mhm.
spend a little, make a lot. I wish I would have met you years ago when I started investing in the stock market, because you could have helped me out a ton there. Okay.
I I wish I'd have followed my own advice.
No doubt. No doubt. So, Scott, we have entered into a partnership that I'm just absolutely thrilled and honored to be partnering with
Mhm.
the National Association of Electrical Distributors and others, but you guys specifically, you carried the flag for us and said this was important, and we've partnered in this new program that we've called One Power Together. You see the headline there. Let's kick 2020 in the ass and power into 2021 joyously, optimistically, and focus. Scott, from your perspective, just what in your mind is this program, One Power Together? What when you what,
Yeah.
define it for us?
So it grabbed me when the first time you told me about it.
Yeah.
The first thing I thought of was, this is going to give you the opportunity as a coworker. You don't have to be a manager or a boss or
Right.
somebody that other people report to. As a coworker, as an associate, this gives you the opportunity to grab somebody by the collar and look them right in the eye and say, "Are you okay?" Just with everything.
Yeah.
The goals that you set for yourself in 2020 and in 2021. How's your family? How's your mental state? And this one power together gives you the opportunity to look somebody in the eye and get a real answer. Are you okay?
Yeah.
And that's the first thing that really stood out to me. And we talked about that a month ago when you first introduced. So I think that's what grabbed me initially.
I love it.
In addition to that, as I continue on this path, is kind of that essential worker thing
Yeah. Okay.
that
Okay.
really rings true today. Again, February 17th, people in Texas don't have power.
That's crazy.
People around the country have the opportunity once that I saw a video yesterday, the day before, of a utility line in Louisiana with a big fireball running across it. Somebody's got to turn the power back on for these people because it's cold and people are going to die.
Yeah.
And that's what we do in NAD is we
Yeah.
provide those materials. And so we're essential people to the point where People are going to die if we don't do our jobs.
Yeah. That,
I
wow.
mean, that's what we are.
That puts it in perspective, buddy.
And so with that designation, comes great responsibility, and it's hard. To go to work every day with that responsibility, like we have in the pandemic, and be labeled as essential, and to do what you need to get done, on a daily basis over the past 360 days, is not easy. And so you need something to get you through. That's what One Power Together does.
But that's
It all fits together.
Scott, thank you. What's going through my mind, I'm probably just going to repeat what you said, but, as we're coming to work, right, doing our job, we could be in accounts payable, we could be out in the warehouse, we could be, at the counter, it doesn't matter, right? We're coming with that responsibility. We got weight just by walking into the door or sitting down. If we're working remotely, we've got that weight on us, right? But also, as you said, things are sped up. Over on this side, I'm thinking about homeschooling my kids. Over on this side, I'm thinking about, we were talking about both of our elderly parents in the green room. I'm thinking about elderly parents, right? And then I'm thinking about, things I've got to do, on the weekend that have piled up and the like,
Right.
My son's pipes just busted in Evergreen. I'm saying, what can I do to help him from Chicago and the like? And so we have this coming at us. And what I have found, and I think one of the premises here that you've alluded to is, are we taking enough time to stop and just check in with ourselves? Right? Dirk, I'm looking at myself. Dirk, are you okay? You're right, centered and all that. So I think that's a key part of it as well.
No doubt. And I'll you know what? I was hesitant. I'll give you a personal story about this. And this isn't like the guy who lives down the street from me, who's, got a cousin who lives in upstate New York, who's got a guy who went to high school with, who's got an aunt. I mean, this happened in my house. I mean, this is, real life for me. My father-in-law, my wife's dad, had been ill for a long time, to the point where we couldn't take care of him. And so we had to put him in assisted living, which we did. And then COVID hit, and we were concerned. So we took him out of assisted living and brought him home. I'll try and make this a fairly quick story. Brought him home and realized within a week that we just can't take care of him. So we had to put him back in assisted living. It's just the way it is. He's just sick. Obviously, assisted living went on lockdown. And so for 10 months, 11 months, my wife every day, I just wish I could kiss my dad on the head one more time so I can make him smile. I wish my dad would hug me one more time so I can feel his arms around me. I wish I could hold my dad's hand and watch a Blues game or a Cardinals game. We're in St. Louis, one more time. And then a month ago, he died.
Oh, Jesus.
No, I know. No kiss, no hug, no hold hand. It didn't happen for my wife. You know where she is today? At work, powering through to help the people around her and to help her coworkers. She doesn't have a program like this. There is no One Power Together for what she does. Now, if there was one, 100%, 75. I'd pay 10 times $75. I'd pay 700. I'd pay 20 times. I'd pay $1,500 for my wife to have a 90-day program so that she can have help powering through. 100%, I would do that. And so now, I look at you, and I look at, again, our people who are watching this, members of NAAD. I'm sure they have stories just like, maybe not exactly like that, but they have stories. And they can use a program like this. Or maybe a person who's, working next to them. It's like, hey, maybe you need $75. Think about, I would 100% say, you need to be in this. And so that's, we're all dealing with this. That's why I'm so passionate about this. This is serious.
Scott, oh man.
Yeah.
Oh man. Back on March 13th, when I came to the conclusion the world was going to change as a result of COVID, didn't know how bad, right? Didn't know that what would happen to your wife right there.
Yeah.
We reached out. We reached out to do 4 things. We wanted to reach out and hug the industry, provide insight, provide inspiration, and provide connectiveness. And what you just described just reinforces the importance of all 4 of those things, right? If I could hug your wife right now,
and she's got and a lot of people are doing it. They're powering through on their own.
Yeah,
One Power Together will keep your focus.
So let's talk about what One Power Together is, and I think you've just planted the seed better than I ever could as to the why behind it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so, Scott, as you know, One Power Together is this. We're calling it a self-development program. And Scott, I make no false pretenses here. I am not a doctor. I'm not a psychologist. Right? I'm not that. But what I do know is that when people come together, right, and show concern and support and optimism and have conversations just like you and I are, right? I know I feel better. I am more productive. I'm more focused and the like. So One Power Together is a self-development program that we're bringing this tribe of amazing people together, right? We're going to focus on 90 days. Just for 90 days, we're going to focus and we're going to interrupt your day. That's the word I'm using. So that you can stop and pause and ask, how am I? How are the people around you, right? And we're going to do it through this guided type of self-study. I don't know, it's guided thought, so that we can truly be our best self every day. And Scott, I'd love to get your opinion on this. 3 beliefs that I have, and we'll talk about it super briefly. Then we'll get into the program. 3 beliefs that I have that really served as the foundation for the creation of this program is: number 1, life is a healthy struggle, which you just described.
Yep.
Right? Life is not fair. It's hard, and we're all struggling to some degree. Was it Plato that said, "Be kind to everybody, because everybody is going through something tough," right? Or something of that nature. Number 2, I think it's too hard to go alone, right? And so how can we come together as a tribe? And I think we all are looking for, I talk about unleashing our spirit. You know, we want to matter. We want to do the things that we're passionate about that impact people and the like, our family and the like. So Scott, when you see those 3 core beliefs that I see as a foundation of this program, I'd love your insight.
Strength in numbers. And it doesn't matter where you are. It doesn't matter if you're in, Miami or Seattle, New York or Los Angeles. I mean, again, everybody's got a situation, and it doesn't matter what company you work for. It doesn't matter what product you're selling or buying or what your customers are like, And so, the healthy struggle is real. And I think, sort of what you said, we can come together and really kind of build our way through this. I was watching the other day, again, I'm trying to inspire myself. Herm Edwards, again, and I watch people and listen to talks and podcasts and videos, whatever, people are smarter than me. And Herm Edwards is the head football coach at Arizona State University. He used to be on ESPN, a bunch of other stuff. And he talked about, in football, the greatest thing about football is the huddle. Because it doesn't matter if you have short hair or long hair, if you grew up in the city or you grew up in the country, or you are tall or you're short, it doesn't matter, because you're all in this together as a team, because you love each other and you want to succeed. That's what One Power Together is. We're all in this together. And it doesn't matter where you are. We're going to help you as an individual and as a group over a 90-day period feel more focused about work, feel better about what you're doing, understand the situation around you, have that healthy struggle. And so that's kind of where I see this going, and what you're going to get out of your, again, ridiculously low $75 investment to be a part of this program.
I love the analogy of the huddle. Thank you for sharing that. And Scott, when we get in the huddle of One Power Together, here's the play we're going to call in the huddle that we're together here, right? Here's the play, right? And actually, it's not the play; it's the game plan. What we're seeing here is the game plan for 90 days, made up of 12 weeks of plays. Okay. And so what we're going to do, the game plan is, we know that we've talked about it. We've been strained, and we want to take control. We want to find that energy again, and we want to live our best selves, right? We want to go from being burnt out, worn out, to really feeling in control and stronger and being engaged and really looking forward to the future. And the way we're going to do that is each week, you see on this third line there, it says our focus. We're going to focus on particular aspects that can help us pause, reflect, and again, focus on being our best selves. If we want to move from being strained and unfocused, let's start with, as tough as things are, let's just stop and pause and say, what are we grateful for?
Yeah.
Right. And the like. And so there's the whole playbook there, if you will. And, I don't want to go into all the details there because it's there. People can reach out to me at dirk@unleashwd.com and get those details. But what we're going to do, Scott, is we're going to have this weekly rhythm. And every Monday, we're going to have what's called a power huddle. At 10 a.m. Central every Monday, we're going to get together, all right? And we're going to have fun. We're going to have fun. I don't know if I should say, but we're going to have an upbeat conversation about week one, about gratitude, and week two, purpose. And then we're going to have a power breakthrough. We're going to provide this downloadable, or you can fill it online, this guided thought process so that you can just pause and check in with yourself and use it. And then we've got this amazing platform that our VP of design, Bethany Hepler, has designed. Thought I had it there. Yeah, this amazing digital platform where we're going to be delivering and coming together and socializing, if you will. And then we've got other plans and the like. But it's going to be an amazing, let's use the analogy, huddle, that we're going to be looking at that game plan over 12 weeks so that we can move from being strained to taking control, being energized, and being your best self. And that's what we're going to do. That's our game plan, Scott.
How did you arrive at that, Dirk? Let me ask you, again, the end result is be your best self.
Yeah.
How did you come to that?
That's a great question. So how did I come up with the 12-week game plan, or how did I come up with being the best self, or all of it? Yeah.
I think they weave together.
Yeah, they do.
One, there's a game plan, and I think you're going to answer the question. But why did you say, what's the end goal of this? The end goal of this is to make sure that people who participate be their best self.
Yeah.
How did you decide on that? And then how did you say we're going to take these steps to make it?
So there's a 2 or 3 part answer to that. Surprise with me, right, Scott? Surprise. And the first is very transparent. I will, right? Because that's what, when COVID hit on March 13th, when I launched Shift to Tomorrow, I stood this new effort up in 48 hours.
Yeah.
And until the 4th of July, I was firing on all cylinders. I was giving everything I had. I still hear today of how we impacted people and companies over those weeks. And I'm grateful for that. And I gave it my all. And then we said, man, we've been given, we got to help, we got to generate some revenue. So we created this great, amazing online course on putting together strategy in the middle of COVID. And we helped organizations do that. And so we were all in. And then we hit the end of summer, Scott, and I'll be honest, I crashed. Somebody yesterday told me, Dirk, you went dark for a little bit, and I did, and I crashed. And so
human nature. That's human nature.
And so, how did I end with it? What I looking in the mirror, I said, I'm not living my best self. Right? I'm not happy with being tired. With now that Shift to Tomorrow and all that is right, not being as focused as I should be. Right? So number one, how did I come to it? It's part of the journey that I've been on. The other is in working with our clients over the last 11 months. Some people saw, I recently just had, in December, I interviewed 26 individuals from a client that were going to be doing 6 months of sales training. And they all said the same thing that I went through and that I'm hearing elsewhere. And so I think one of my unique abilities is to be able to listen and connect the dots. And that's what we did. And we said, all right, so if I want to live my best self, where are we coming from? And then that's how we put this playbook together of these 12 weeks and the like. Does that answer the question?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And it brings up a great point. Again, the batteries need recharging, and sometimes we're not the best at recognizing that we have to recharge our own batteries. And like I said, it's human nature. I mean, it's just, again, I feel sped up. How long could I run? You ran sped up from March until the end of July, for crying out loud. Can you imagine? I mean, after a while, someone's got to recharge those batteries
You
with
got
you.
to
So
recharge it.
I get it. I get it. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's what we're going to do. So if you're interested, we'd love to have you. All the details, you can find it at the website that you see on the screen, unleashwd.com/one-power-together. And you get all the stories there. And Scott, as you've said a number of times, I appreciate it. The program is $90. For members of NAED, it's $75. For members of American Supply Associated, it's $75. But for $75 or $90, we really did try to price this as being a no-brainer, so that we're blessed. A number of your member companies are offering this as a paid employee benefit, right, for their employees.
Right.
And it's going to be amazing. And but we said, you know what? Not all companies are going to be able to do that. So we really wanted to price it so that individuals could get in, and that's how we landed on the $75 or $90. So, Scott, thank you for the partnership. Thank you for your insight. Thank you for your giving here. Any closing thoughts? Any closing thoughts for those that have joined us today?
Dirk, thank you for doing this. I think this is essential. In talking with, a number of executives, Jeff Baker with Rexel, I talked to Laura McBride at Van Meter, a bunch of other distributor executives. I mean, they're greatly concerned with mental health issues and the safety of their employees. But they're also, as Kathy Mazzarella explained to me, in a podcast I did a week or so ago, I mean, they're also concerned about being essential businesses and making sure that they're taking care of people, end users too. So, this is tough. Thank you for recognizing all of that and making sure that we're powering together. So I don't know if anybody's thanked you personally for it. I got the chance by coming on this. And so thank you for what you've done in creating this. I am 100% behind you. 100%.
Thanks. Scott, I appreciate that. We have an email. We're closing registration on Monday, and we have an email going out that I wrote last night. And in this email, it's very brief, and I talk about it in 2004. I'm looking out my window here in Barrington, Illinois. I won't go through the whole story, but because of some actions here, I was compelled to start a nonprofit called We Do Care to support and thank our men and women in uniform. I was compelled to do it. I had to do it. I was called to do it. And for 7 years, at the expense of my business, at the expense of some relationships, I led this nonprofit to support and thank our troops, and it went global, and we did just amazing things. And Scott, as I've been reflecting on this One Power Together, I am equally as compelled to do this right now as I was back there to support our troops, because I think the need is so real. As I say, no false pretenses here, man. I am not a doctor. I'm not a psychologist. But I think we can have conversations that can help all of us, and
Yes.
that's what we're after.
This will work. It will.
Yeah. Scott, David Shepard from the Collins Company joined us, and he just put in there, David, thanks. Great to see you, buddy. And he just said the Collins team is looking forward to starting this journey. David, we're blessed. We're appreciative of you all being there. Just by the good people, the Collins Company being with us, man. It's going to lift us all. And David, thank you, and everybody else. Scott, this has been amazing. Thank you so very much, buddy. I appreciate it.
Again, thank you. Appreciate the opportunity.
You betcha. And for everybody that has joined us, I really appreciate you joining us. These are, we've used terms unprecedented. These times are different. Just because the calendar turned from 2020 to 21, the vaccines are coming, and the light. There's light at the end of the tunnel, but we're all feeling it. We're still feeling it, and I gotta tell you, man, I love hugging people. I didn't always, and I love driving conversations, getting like-minded people together. That's what we do at Unleash WD. That's what we do on our podcast. That's what I do when I work with Scott Costa on his podcast and everything like that. Come together and let's live our best selves, and let's raise ourselves. Let's lift ourselves as we do that. So, guess what? One more time, Dirk talks too much. So, with that, I'm gonna end it. And Scott, I see you still hanging around. I'm just gonna say thanks again, buddy. Really appreciate it. Be well, my friend. All right.
You too. Thanks.
Thanks, everybody.